Diary. It has been a few weeks since my last writing on your pages. There's a good reason for my absence. First, things that happened and the way they overwhelmed and absorbed me, and then a much more practical one. On the last couple of days, my fingers were a victim of a severe frostbite that almost led them to a necrotic point. They were so stunned and numb by the cold that I could hardly scratch my head. It all started on Elephant Island. We were desperate to find a way to go to South Georgia. I made a bold call, picking the largest boat, the James Caird, to take us to that island. 6 meters of boat to take 6 men on a desperate rescue mission. A meter of boat per man. Our carpenter, Harry McNish, did an awesome job reinforcing and preparing the James Caird for the almost impossible mission. He ever made rather comfortable deck, using all the materials he could lay hands on. Even seal blast was used to caulk the deck. The cross over those inhospitable, freezing, raging waters through 850 miles was about to be tried by 6 helpless men. Me, Frank Worsley, Tom Crean, he begged to come, John Vincent, Timothy McCarthy, and McNish, these 6 men, in a nutshell, kind of boat, went to face the rage of the elements on a desperate overseas journey seeking survival. I refused to pack supplies for more than 4 weeks, knowing that if we did not reach South Georgia within that time, the boat and men would be lost. We launched the James Caird to the sea on the 24th April 1916. During the next 15 days, we sailed through the waters of the Southern Ocean at the mercy of the stormy in constant peril of capsizing whenever those 30-feet waves come to swallow our nutshell kind of boat. It often came to my mind the Portuguese discovery odyssey back in the 15th and 16th century. Bold, courageous men they were. In those distressing hours and days, my thoughts went always to my men and my wife, Emily, and son, Edward. Would I ever see them again? Yes, I will. On the 8th May, thanks to Worsley's navigational skills, the cliffs of South Georgia came into our sight, but the hurricane-force winds prevented the possibility of landing. We were forced to ride out the storm offshore in constant danger of being dashed against the rocks. We later learned that the same hurricane had sunk a 500-ton steamer bound for South Georgia from Buenos Aires. On the 9th May, we were finally able to land. But guess what? That was the wrong side of the island. Good God, that wasn't really fair of you. Weren't all the trials we went through enough? Apparently not. So I was struck by another crazy idea to attempt a land crossing of the island. I knew that the Norwegian whalers had previously crossed at other points or skin, but no one had attempted this particular route before. We were only equipped with boots. We had pushed screws into to act as climbing boots, some carpenter's tools, and 50 feet of rope. We left McNish, Vincent, and McCarthy at the landing point of South Georgia, waiting for success of our attempt. And so, me, Worsley, and Crean, after some days of rest, traveled about 32 miles over extremely dangerous mountainous terrain for 36 hours without sleeping or barely eating. What happened during these last hours is far beyond human imagination. My father's words were rumbling on my mind. He used to say that life is the greatest of all games. The danger lies in treating it as a trivial game. How right he was. Our struggle to survive drained our energy and strength to the last drop. I couldn't even dare to imagine that to be possible, but it turns out that we had what it took to stay alive. We were reaching the naked soul of man, when smoke coming out of some chimneys in a small village came into our sight. It was Stromness, the whale station, the 20th May, 1916. Probably the Rizagat. Now, there's no time to waste. It's time to go back to rescue my crew. They know I won't let them down. After all, I'm Ernest Shackleton, their boss. After all, I'm Shackleton.